everyone, I'm the Unobtrusive Healer and welcome to another Pick a Pile reading. Today I'm here with your weekly guidance reading and hopefully we'll get some really fruitful messages for you guys to use from today going forward for this week. We're going to be covering all of the main areas of life, such as a general message or a general theme of the week, as well as career / income / study. Also love for singles, up in the air connections, and for those of you in connections, we'll get a message for all situations. And we'll also get some general, more spiritual or personal guidance for the week as well. So we have the two piles represented by the two crystals in front of you today. So group one have the kunzite. And group two have the amazonite. These are probably two of the favorites that I have in my collection, to be honest, and I keep them both in the lounge room, and I find that it gives sort of a little bit more calm and gentleness to the space, and it also brings healthier conversation as well. So little fun fact anyways, so take your time to feel out which crystal is calling you in, and when you're ready I'll see you over in your group and we'll get some nice fruitful messages to help you with this week. Hello group one, welcome to your weekly guidance reading. You guys have chosen the kunzite for your crystal and we're going to get into your guidance messages. So I have got all the decks laid out right now because what I'm going to do is I'm going to spend the first portion of the reading getting out all these cards, and you can choose if you are someone who finds watching the card pulls quite therapeutic and it's a bit of ASMR, feel free to watch me pull all the cards. Or if you're someone that gets a little bit bored with watching all the cards, or waiting for all the cards to come out, I should say, feel free to fast forward a little bit. And once you can see all of these cards laid out, then I'm going to start talking about the messages. So you can decide what's for you, what's not, but I'm not going to talk about them one by one. I'm going to get them all out and then we're going to talk about them and break them all down one by one. So you can feel free to skip ahead now if you like. We're going to start getting group one's messages. I have already set intentions with spirit for each card and laid out the spread, so I don't even need to do too much talking. I'm just going to get each card out for group one in the next 7 days. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and just tidy this table up and make it look a little bit more neat, and then we're going to get into your messages. Okay, group 1. So let us begin with our general or main situation or message or theme that the universe wants to discuss today. So you got the financial constraints card in the reverse position along with the King of Air. So this card in reverse can be a sign that there's going to be an increase in finances coming for you soon, and that you are probably going to have a little bit more money this week, or there's going to be a little bit more room to splurge or take measured risks with your money. So there might be a little bit of extra money coming in. That could either just be like maybe you recently worked a few extra hours and you've got some overtime coming through. Maybe this King of Air here is a person in your life who's helping you out with, either a loan between friends or family, or they're just gifting you some money, or it could be someone who's more of like an advisor who's helping you with your money or your investments or something like that. Or this could be your own energy, and you could be embodying this King of Air and being very wise and careful with your money. And maybe you have been that in the past, and this is where you're going to start to see the rewards for that. Or maybe that's just the hat that you're wearing this week is one where you're a little bit more wise and careful with your money making decisions, and therefore you have a little bit of extra room to play by the end of the week or something. But like I said, this could be you or another person, so you have to take that as it resonates. So it could be someone that's helping you either with a loan or gift of money, or they're helping you make better decisions with your money, helping you understand your money better. Or like I said, it could be like just more money in your pay this week, and then your guidance would be to be wise about it. Make sure you're making good decisions. But yeah, it looks like you're going to have a little bit more money this week, or advice or help that grants you more money. So that's the main thing that Spirit wants to say. So if things have been tight, or if you have been really knuckling down lately and being, really wise and careful, then this would be a week where you're able to take a few more risks because of your hard work. Or this is just purely advice, and it's to say, look, more money is going to be coming in, but be wise about it. Don't be impulsive. Don't just be reckless with that money and end up where you were before. Be smart, be wise. And then, like I said, the other alternative is that someone's helping you. So take that as it resonates for your week, but that's the main thing. All right, so now we're going to go into the next group here. So this is to do with career, study, income related endeavors. So whatever you happen to be doing in terms of your income or working towards an income. We have adjustments are required, and we have the Lover's card. So the Lover's card used to be called the Choice back in the day, and it doesn't just talk about intimate relationships, it also talks about major changes, major decision making, and we have adjustments are required. So this week might be a week where it's very clear where you've been and how far you've come, but now it's a week of like, okay, but where am I going from here? And it seems like this is a week of making big decisions and making changes, or just weighing your options. So if you're in a job and you're kind of a little bit too, like say you're content with your job but you want more, this would be a week where you're really weighing up where you're going and what changes you could make to bring more fulfillment into your future. If you've been studying one certain course, maybe this is like deciding that you want to veer off in a different direction and making the decision to like go on a different path or go in a new direction, change your course over or something like that. But it is definitely a week of like weighing up your options, weighing those decisions to try to make sure that you're making the right decisions. But definitely, if anything, it seems like this week will either make it very clear what needs to change, or make it very clear where you're heading in the right direction. So where you're heading in the right direction and where you're not, what is for you, what's not for you. I think it's going to be made quite clear. And it's almost, I heard the word like illuminate, and we also have the word illuminate here actually, but I heard the word illuminate. It's like something about this week is going to illuminate where you need to make a different choice, or where you need to change directions. And you're going to need to be very, as much as it's about following your heart and your soul, and kind of like listening to your higher self, it's also about being logical with your decision making, being practical about it, because you don't just want to be like, okay, I had this call to start this new thing, all right, quit my job today, and then tomorrow you have no money, no nothing. Like, it's about being practical and about being logical with about how you follow that call. So I hope that's making sense. But yeah, so basically it's like feel the call, feel the pull, that intuitive kind of feel, but then be practical and logical about how you follow that pull, to make sure that you're making the right decisions that are going to help you and not hinder you. So yeah, it'll be very clear this week where you need to make a different decision, or where you need to change directions. And then just be very practical about it. Don't feel like you need to be in a rush. And again, that could be saying, it could be reiterating here about making good decisions about your finances. If you have been a little bit careless in the past, it's about being a little bit more wise this week with your money. If you've been, too frugal in the past, then maybe it's a week of taking a few more risks and treating yourself a little bit, because you can't take your money with you when you're gone. So maybe it's time to kind of reward yourself for all the hard work that you've done and bring some more balance into your life. But yeah. You're definitely embodying a very kind of like wise energy to be making the right decisions this week. So like these two messages are very much sort of tied in together. And I think you'll see very clearly where you need to change things or make a different choice. Okay, so we're going to move into the love section now. So we have a card for singles here. We have a card for situationships or up in the air connections or no contact situations. And then we have a card for relationships as well. We have a 666 here, so you could be seeing 666 out and about, or it could be just like a number synchronicity that you've been seeing a lot lately. But yeah, let's talk about singles to start with. So we have number 6, Simply Love. Now, this card could be tied to the 6 of Cups in general tarot. But what it's about is kind of just like tuning into your heart space and operating from that space. And even though you might not have a significant other in your life in a romantic sense, it's about giving that love, or finding that love and sharing it with the people that are in your life, whether that's family, friends, children, animals. It's just really about sharing the love in your heart and embodying that love. And the more that you can kind of tune into that soft, sweet, loving energy, I think it's going to also attract a lot more of that back to you, particularly in the form of a romantic partner. This card can also kind of talk about needing to kind of sometimes it's about looking back at the past a little bit, and this could be telling you to maybe stop focusing on all the negatives of your past and to try to look back at the past and only remember the good things and take those memories with you, but leave the rest behind now. They aren't serving you. It's time to let that go so that you can operate from a space of more love. This can be, I know that we're in the singles section, but I'm just going to mention it because it's something that's in the book. If you're looking to fall pregnant or to adopt a child, it can be like a very auspicious sign for that. So it would be like good fortune regarding that. So if you're looking to do that on your own, this is a good sign that it's a good week to either start the process or, do what you can this week. And then I can also look at it as it's a good week to just sort of reconnect with your inner child and do things that bring that inner child joy, as another way to just improve your energy. But one thing that I thought I might do for singles in this reading is pull a couple of tarot cards just to see if we can see anybody coming in. Or if it's really just a week of yourself and your existing connections, like family, friends, pets, things like that. Children, if you already have children, it could be a very good week to bond with your child or children. Alright, so is there anything or anyone coming in for singles in group 1 in the next 7 days? So we've got the High Priestess coming out in the upright position, and we have the Ten of Swords in the reverse position. So if anything, it feels like, this feels to me like it's not really a good week for anything new. The High Priestess tells me it's more of a week of kind of like going within. You may be able to do some emotional healing about something that happened in the past. There may be some like letting go or some epiphanies had that help you let go of something in the past. And again, it's kind of giving me that message again of like, when you're looking back, let go of the bad memories or the negative memories, and try to look back and just hold on to the positive memories, the good memories that you had. Or if there's, none, it's just about letting go altogether and doing the inner work you need to do to kind of get yourself into that embodiment of that beautiful, loving, sweet energy that we've got over here with the Six of Cups. I could also view this I'm kind of seeing this as like how do I word this? Getting in tune with and embodying more of your true, authentic self, and not letting anybody box you in, or maybe letting go of any times you felt boxed in to be a certain way or behave a certain way. It's kind of like, in reverse, this would be like trying to escape that box and just embody your true, mysterious, mystical self, if that resonates. Just because the High Priestess has come out, that's what I'm picking up. But I don't think, and even on the bottom of the deck was the Five of Cups. So it's really a week of healing, emotional work, letting go of anything that's sort of blocking you or preventing you from emitting this pure unconditional love from within and around you, also to yourself. But yeah, so that's what we've got for singles. For those of you in no contact situations or up in the air connections, basically any type of connection where you're looking for answers, you're not really sure what's going on, we have the card Healing Begins. Now, there's a couple of ways that this card can be interpreted, and basically what it's going to come down to is the connection that you're asking about. If it's already going good, if it's already going smooth, you can basically expect it to get better, and kind of move in leaps and bounds in the next week. But if it's not going anywhere, if it's been stagnant, or if there's been issues, or if there's no contact going on, this is a week where you can expect something to happen that makes you decide it's time to move on, it's time to let go. So this could be like you meet a person who immediately shows you just how poorly you've been treated, or someone shows up who respects you and treats you so differently, and you're like, hang on a minute, why am I settling for this person when these types of people are out there? Or it could be like you find out some information about that person that shocks you or disappoints you, and you're like, nah, time to go. So basically, if it's going good, it's going to get better. But if it hasn't been going good, you can expect something to happen this week that makes you go, okay, nah, I'm moving away from this in a different direction. So it all comes down to where your connection's currently at. But either way, healing will come out of this. So either the connection begins to heal and move forward, and you become more simpatico, for lack of a better word. I'm laughing because it reminds me of, is it Bad Teacher and Justin Timberlake's character? I'm sure it's Bad Teacher. So simpatico. But yeah, and then if it's not going good, you can expect to see you either discovering something, learning something, or having an epiphany where you realize it's time to go, time to move on. And then that's a very healing process for you in itself. So you'll have to take that as it resonates depending on where you're currently at with your person. And then we're going to move into those of you that are in relationships. So with this card of lead, again, this all depends on, I guess, the energy you embody in your relationship. So, excuse me. So this card is really about examining your role, or the role that you play in your connection. So are you the leader, or do you, are you more of like the follower, I guess? Again, for lack of a better term, follower is not really the right word, but yeah, you know what I'm trying to say. If you're normally the one that takes control, takes the lead, it might be about examining where you might need to soften your approach or loosen the reins and let your partner step up, or take the lead a little bit more, and just make sure that you're not being too controlling or holding onto the reins too tightly to the point where it's making your partner feel incapable or unable, or uncomfortable even. And then if you normally sort of take the role as following the other person's lead, it's about making sure, are your needs getting met? Are you overgiving or, self-sacrificing in order to make your person happy? And basically, like, where do I need to kind of bring this back into balance? Do I need to fall back a little bit, or do I need to sort of step up a little bit to get my needs met and to make sure that I'm an equal here? So it's really about, again, finding a way to bring more balance in. And I think that's the key thing connecting group one, whether you're single, up in the air, or in a relationship. it's really about restoring the balance. So this is like restoring the balance within the self. This is restoring the balance of the connection or for yourself. And then the same thing, this is rebalancing the connection with your partner by saying, okay, I think I'm holding on too tightly to the reins, or I'm steering the ship too much. I need to fall back a little bit and let my person step up or step into that role. Or hey, I'm self-sacrificing in the name of making my person happy, and now I'm starting to not feel so great myself and I need my cup filled, or whatever the case is. But it's really about examining how you can bring more balance into yourself or your connections in general. All right, so that's the love portion for this week. So the next card is going to be read from the guidebook. So this is your spiritual or personal growth message for the week. Is that what I called it? Yeah, spiritual or personal growth message for the week. Oh, I came to the right page, exactly. So we're going to read this from the guidebook. You don't know what that is. All right, illuminate the shadow. Simplify the issue, focus on a solution. When we understand our shadow, we can fully appreciate the light. We must have both aspects within our spirit to have a meaningful life. Without darkness, how can one fully appreciate the beauty and simplicity of life in all its forms? Once we remove fear and personal doubt, it makes room for love, confidence, and motivation, reclaiming your personal power. Our shadow self highlights the need to place ourselves first. When we are stuck within our shadow side, we are unable to see the light of day. We become clouded and foggy with confusion, often forgetting gratitude and compassion through our own selfish moments. Illuminating the shadow is to fully understand our personality and subsequently understand the shadow in others, enabling us to be more considerate of another person's hardships and developing empathy with and compassion for other people. Right now, you are encouraged to illuminate the sections of your personality that are working against your situation. Accept that these challenging aspects are a part of you, embrace them, love them, and plan how to achieve a form of balance and make this part of your psyche ultimately work for you. Now is the time to focus on a resolution instead of just on the problem or challenge. How did you get here? Acknowledge your current circumstances and focus on how you can achieve a positive outcome. Now is the time to get your personality in line with conscious thought. Apply these balanced characteristics to areas in your life that could utilize these energies, such as leadership, communication, relationships, employment, and self-talk with your spirit. Once you grow your understanding of your unique personality, you can begin to realign your life to nurture and support your goals and personal interests. So that's incredible. That message is just fitting perfectly. It never stops surprising me, actually, how these messages from the book end up tying everything together so wonderfully. But an affirmation that you can use with yourself this week is, I effortlessly create peaceful solutions with my personality. I effortlessly create peaceful solutions with my personality. If you want a crystal to use, you can try Golden Sheen Obsidian. Remember, when working with crystals, you don't have to have a physical crystal. You can either look it up and connect with the image, or you can call upon its spirit to enter your life and intervene in ways that it can help. But yes, that's your spiritual / personal growth message. And 2 and 1 makes 3, which is half of 6, which seems to be a repeating number here. So like 3, 6, multiples of 3 seem to be significant for whatever reason. Next here we have the sloth, which says digital detox, recalibrate, reset, and recharge. And this is another one that we're going to read from the book to see exactly what the sloth wants to say to you today. So 47. So the sloth has the message of life is fast paced. There are just so many distractions and it can all get a bit much sometimes. It's overwhelming. Technology is addictive. We even post and photograph the times we are relaxing just to document it. Yet of course that defeats the object of truly chilling out. The sloth is asking you to strip technology back right now to process what's happening in your life. It's hard to see and feel what you need when you are constantly bombarded with others' images and energy. Take some time for you. Go back to nature. Nature and the elements have all the answers you will ever need. The wind teaches us how to let go. The earth shows us our place in the bigger picture. Water teaches us how to cleanse, and fire comes to activate and transmute. It's simple to connect and refuel when you are not distracted. The sloth asks you to slow down, live life like he does, for the moment. Crystal companions are howlite and white agate. And yeah, that's it for the sloth. So that's one way that you can help with all of your other messages, is by tuning out from the technological world and tuning into the real world, and completely tuning out. So leaving the phone at home or completely turning it off, not taking photos, not posting about it, completely tuning out and just tuning into the earth and yourself, of course. Now, our final card over here is something that I've added in for fun as well for these readings, and it's basically a notable or significant day of the week. So it's a day of the week to look out for this week. And we got Mars. So if you didn't know, each day of the week corresponds to a different planet, and Mars is Tuesday. So I am hoping to have this out well before the end of Monday. And apparently the day to look out for is Tuesday, because Mars represents Tuesday. And if you're interested, Monday is the moon, Tuesday is Mars, Wednesday is Mercury, Thursday is Jupiter, Friday is Venus, Saturday is Saturn, and Sunday is the Sun. And if you wanted to look even more into detail, this is something that I've started to do recently. Obviously, if you've been watching me for a while or watching other readers, or if you know anything about astrology, you'll know that each planet corresponds to different areas and situations of life. So for example, the moon relates to the home. So if it's a Monday, it's like a day for the home. So maybe tending to your home, tidying up the home, maybe even tending to your garden, things like that. Having a day with family, spending it with your children or something like that. For example, Venus represents, love, relationships, harmony, beauty. So Fridays would be good for anything to do with love, relationships, beauty, things like that. Because Mars is here, it says here competition, action, willpower. So anything that is going to use your competitiveness, your action, or your willpower is going to be great on that day. But regardless, a day to look out for this week is Tuesday. So group 1, that's all I have for you for your weekly guidance message. I hope you've enjoyed this. If you have, please let me know by hitting that like button and subscribing to the family. But that's all for me from now. Sending love, light, and everything bright. Bye. Hello group 2, welcome to your weekly guidance reading. I hope you guys are doing super well. If you're here with me for group 2, you've chosen the Amazonite. Oh my god, for some reason I couldn't get that out. And my throat's going all weird for this reading. And funnily enough, Amazonite can help with communication and clarity. So I feel like that's not a coincidence actually. So it's kind of making me think of throat chakra activations and speaking up and communicating clearly and things like that. So we'll see if that ties into the reading. So what I'm going to do, group 2, is if you're someone who finds watching the card shuffle quite therapeutic, if it's a bit of ASMR for you, I'm going to shuffle all the cards out without talking, and you can either watch all the cards come out one by one, and then I'm going to start to talk about them all and break them all down to cover all the areas of your life this week. Or if you're someone that doesn't really enjoy watching the card shuffles, you can just fast forward a little bit and you can start watching from when the cards are all laid out and get all your messages then. So totally up to you. But yeah, I've already set the intention with Spirit on how the spread works and which cards mean which. So all I need to do is shuffle and let them come out without speaking. So feel free to skip ahead. You will not miss anything. But if you're sticking around, hope you enjoy the shuffle. So group 2, next 7 days. so now that we have all of our cards out, I'm just going to quickly tidy this area up and make it a little bit more presentable, and then we're going to dive into your messages, Group 2. Okay, Group 2, so now that we have a little bit more order going on in front of us, let's get into your messages. So to start with the main or the overall thing that the universe wants to talk about, the main thing is that with Storm Warning in reverse, it is the end of a difficult time. So whether it's been that you've had difficult people around you or difficult circumstances around you, or just a lot of things coming up that were getting in the way of what you want to do, it's like the end of that turbulent, disruptive period is now here. So that's coming to an end, and it should start to get a little bit easier for you from here on out. So it's like the end of competing goals, the end of bothersome details, the end with the end of conflict with anybody that you've had conflict with, if that's the case. All of that's coming to an end, and this week it would be a really good time to kind of like take the lesson that you've been able to take from that to implement going forward, and then just sort of leave all that behind you now and expect and hope for things to get better, because they will get better this week. There could be like a positive resolution in some instances for something. That's just something extra that was coming through. But yeah, if you've had difficulties with anybody, any situations, or just difficulty getting on top of things in your own life, or you're just having your own difficulties with your own energy, or not feeling yourself, or any sort of clash between your schedule and your goals and things like that, that's going to start to ease off, and you're going to have a little bit more time for the things that you want, and things won't feel like such a challenge all the time, because it feels like maybe you're coming out of a period where everything just felt like such a chore or such a challenge. Like, you know, every time you went to go somewhere there was a detour. Every time you tried to go somewhere you were dealing with a difficult person. You know, like delays, just bothersome things that get really annoying after a while when they tend to pile up. All of that's going to be cleared out, and everything's just going to work a little bit easier and a bit more freely in your life this week. So that's a positive sign. I want to move into this part now. So this is the career/study/income area. So we have a new start is coming, and we have the Two of Water here. So this definitely makes me think that there's someone in particular, either like a friendship, or if you're in a relationship, it might be the person you're in a relationship with, but someone's influential in your career or study or income sector. So either a shared idea between two people is going to be started or implemented, or like, you know, it's like there's a new start, but it's between two people. So it's for you and another person. But this is relating to career, finances, and like study. So it could be like a creative partnership, or a spiritual partnership, like teaming up to serve the world in some way, or a friend and yourself are like exchanging ideas, and then you're like, oh my god, that's an amazing idea, we should do that. And this would be like a really, really fortunate sign to come out. Is a very, very auspicious card to say, like, whatever this is, it's a huge yes. Like, it's getting a big tick from the universe to say this is going to turn into something big. It's not just like any little idea. It's like the best card to come out, especially when we're talking about like an idea. And when two minds, or when two energies focus on the same thing, it creates that much more momentum, and it manifests so much quicker, because there's like, it's amplified. The manifestation's amplified because there's two people working on it. It's definitely a partnership with the Two of Water. It's definitely a duo. it could be creative, spiritual, or any type of business partnership where you're both very invested and like on the same page. So a new start for you and another person relating to career or study. So it's like the two of you both go to study together. The two of you work on this creative venture or this clothing line or this YouTube channel or this, I don't know, workshop, whatever the two of you are going to work on. It's a big yes from the universe, and it's going to become something great. So a new start with another person where you are on the same page working on the same thing, and it's going to be very abundant in the future. The other thing that's kind of coming through is if it's not a physical person, the Two of Water can sometimes represent your connection with your own higher self. So this could even be like an idea that comes directly from your higher self that you need to act upon. So pay attention if you're spending time alone and you get this idea that comes to you. Make sure you're writing your ideas down, because there's a particular one, like I said, that has a huge yes ring on it from Spirit. Alright, so I'm going to move on now. We're going to go into the love section for this week. So we have a card for singles, we have a card for up in the air or no contact situations, and we have a card for relationships. I'm going to just quickly have a sip of tea before I start. So for singles, we have the card of Heal here. So the first thing that's sort of coming through is definitely this is a good week to kind of break out of the limitations of your past and break free. It's a very good week for healing. It's a very good it's a very good week of sharing your healing gift with others if you have healing abilities, or if you have a very healing, soothing energy. It's a very good, a very nice gift to be able to share with others this week. But it's really a card of sort of the connection between healing yourself and then attracting a healthy partnership. So it's like the more that you heal, the more that your frequency elevates to one where it can attract someone that is on the same frequency as you, and therefore it'll become a more sort of divine partnership. It can also be a card about recognizing, nobody's perfect, and trying to really humanize people and find ways to forgive and let go, because forgiveness can act like a chain on you that kind of holds you back from reaching your full potential. So did I say forgiveness can act like a chain? No, holding on to resentment and things from the past can act like a chain that keeps you stuck there. Whereas once you find forgiveness, you can break those chains and you can rise above. You can evolve out of that place and start to experience higher vibration relationships or higher frequency relationships. But yeah, the other thing I want to say is if you're a single, and I don't know why this is coming through, but say you're single and you maybe you hold grudges, or you're like, you don't give like 3 strikes and you're out. You're kind of like 1 strike and you're done. This is kind of asking you to be more forgiving and to be more accepting of the fact that everybody has their own flaws. Nobody's perfect. We all make mistakes, and just being a little bit, I guess, more gentle with not only just others but yourself too. But being a little bit more gentle with others. So for singles, I am also pulling a couple of tarot cards to see if there's anyone or anything happening this week, anyone coming in or anything happening, I should say, just as a little bit of an extra. But with that heal card, it seems more like it's healing yourself, healing others where you can, you know, sharing that gift with others. And finding a little bit more compassion and forgiveness in your heart for people as well. But is there anything happening or anyone coming in for the singles this week? Oh, we have the Two of Cups. And it's repeating here. So for some of you, if you're already in a relationship, you could be working on something with your partner and coming up with something that you and your partner are going to do. Or it could be like, I know that this has come out in career and income and study, but maybe you're going to meet, if you're a single, you could be meeting a person and either it starts off as friendships and like a meeting of minds who want to work on the same thing, but then maybe it grows into more. Or maybe it's like the other way around, like a personal relationship grows closer and it leads to a new start in your career and finances. But coming back to here, there is definitely potential to attract or meet a soulmate or someone that's like, you know, your equal here with the Two of Cups. We have the Ten of Wands. So yeah, I think this is a potential for a reason. I just stopped shuffling and the Ten of Cups was on the bottom. I think that this is a potential outcome because it depends if you're willing to let go of the weight that you are carrying. So again, like, can you soften your energy and be more compassionate and forgiving and understanding that everyone's human, everyone makes mistakes, not being so quick to cut somebody off, being more understanding, being more allowing. Obviously not to the extent that you're having to self-sacrifice or put your own needs aside or anything like that. Obviously, like, only the right people are worth doing that for, but this is sort of about, maybe it's more like assuming the best in people and deciding to let go of the weight of assuming the worst, because it's a lot more freeing and exciting to assume the best in people than it is to go into something skeptical and creating skeptical, harsh energies, or going in closed off or guarded. You know, this is about letting all that go and going into something with a clean, fresh slate, under the assumption that this is your person, or that this is a great person, and that it's going to have longevity and it's going to last forever, instead of thinking like it's going to end before it's even started. You know, like, you've really got to have faith and you've got to let your past go completely and just sort of take a risk. And yeah, use the law of assumption to your benefit. Assume the best. Let go of the weight of assuming the worst and assume the best, because this person here is going to help you share the load. They're going to be an equal. They're going to be someone who wants to help you. They want to, so if you're someone that's carries the weight of the world on your shoulder, they want to come in and take some of that weight off. Like, they really want to be a partner, a teammate, potentially even build, grow, create with you. In terms of like finances, like they might even want to work with you. But yeah, there really is potential to meet someone very significant this week if you can let all that baggage go and assume the best. You know, have faith and assume the best. Open your heart, enter it with a fresh new perspective on life and love. Like, really go into it with a real innocent mindset, as if you've never been hurt before. That's your best guidance. You obviously still need to have discernment. I can't guarantee 100% accuracy for every single person that clicks on the video, but if this message is for you and this is a person that's your equal and they're a really, really great soul, this is a soulmate that I'm talking about. If they are your true soulmate, they are worth doing this for. because you could really experience something beautiful. And that connection will not just be romantic. It's like you guys have a purpose here to either create, build, or do something for the world or in the world. And I feel like this person's going to end your cycle of doing it all alone and carrying all the weight on your own. So whether you're like a single parent or you carry a lot of responsibility in your life, this person's going to come in and really help share that load. All right, exciting singles, very exciting. Actually, I wonder if we could, maybe we can sort of figure out a little bit about the person. How are we going for time? Yeah, we actually do have some time. I'm going to get a couple of cards and try and figure out a little bit about them. What can you tell us about this person that group 2 singles could potentially be coming across this week? What can you tell us about that person, their soulmate? We have the Hierophant, so they could have Taurus in their birth chart. The Hierophant makes me think that they could be like an old soul, or they're very wise. They could have a lot of life experience, or yeah, like I said, they could be like just an old soul. The Hierophant is making me think that they are spiritually aware. Like it doesn't mean to say like they're full-blown psychic, but they are like somewhat spiritual. With the Page of Pentacles, they could be someone who likes to continuously either climb the corporate ladder or constantly grow, constantly evolve. They're constantly looking to better themselves, to learn, to expand, to grow. So they would be someone that, like, if they have an interest, they'll pursue it. They'll learn more about it, or they'll engage with it. They like to learn new things and they like to engage with new experiences. What else can you tell us about Group 2's soulmate for the singles? Ten of Swords, Four of Pentacles. So they have recently maybe ended something in their life with the Ten of Swords. It feels like they've come to an ending that has been fairly painful, and they are still holding on to some of that or carrying some of that weight themselves. So you're not the only one carrying weight. I feel like they have a little bit of weight to carry as well. And they have potentially, been through an ending, and they still hold on to this somewhat, whether it's an ending of a relationship or an ending in their career or an ending of some other sort. It feels like they've recently ended something, and it's like almost like they're kind of regrouping, restructuring, regrounding themselves in their life, kind of getting back on their feet, type thing. Anything else about the soulmate coming in for Group 2 singles? It could definitely be like something that's quite slow moving, and it could just even start as like a friendship where the two of you are very much like aware of the connection, but you move really slowly but surely. It's like you make steady progress, and you're constantly, the connection's constantly moving forward and constantly growing, but I feel like it takes a bit of time before it becomes romantic. It seems like it starts more as like a friendship or a meeting of minds, or like, I know this person's going to be important, but I don't know how. It kind of feels like feels a bit like that. It's like a meeting of souls, and your souls recognize each other, but maybe it takes a little while for your physical selves to catch up. But again, this is definitely someone who constantly likes to feel like they are bettering themselves or expanding their consciousness or their mind, or constantly like to be striving or moving forwards. Six of Swords, they could travel a lot. I might just get one more card for this person. Eight of Swords. It kind of came out in the reverse first. I do feel like, and underneath the deck is the Hermit. I do feel like this is kind of representing, again, this person kind of getting out of something, breaking out of something. I think it's talking about that ending that I mentioned, and the fact that they're kind of in this kind of hermit mode right now, spending a bit of time alone, doing introspection, things like that. But yeah, we have Virgo energy and Taurus energy. So we have a lot of earth sign energy coming out, but doesn't have to be. But yeah, that's a little bit about the person. So let's leave the singles there. Let's move on to no contact or up in the air situation. So this card tells me that this week is really a good week to tune into your higher intelligence, your higher wisdom, your higher self. Your higher self knows. Your higher self is all knowing. Your higher self sees all, it sees the bigger picture, and your higher self has all the answers for you when it comes to the person you are dealing with. So things like meditation to kind of connect to that higher version of you can be helpful. But another thing that can be helpful when wanting to advise yourself from that higher place is picture someone that you really care about in the situation you are in, and ask yourself what you would say to them. What is the best advice that you would give someone else in your situation whom you really cared about? Generally, that's your answer. So I think that can be a helpful tool for you this week, is to, put someone else in your shoes and then become the observer. And if you really cared about the person that was in your shoes going through what you're going through, what would you say to them? That's your advice, and that's what you need to follow this week. There's not much else I can say. It's a very clear, direct message. I can't pick it apart much more than that, so I'm sorry that it's very quick for you guys, but you are your best guide in this situation, and this is the week where you can get very clear answers. So that can be a helpful tool for you. Moving into those of you in relationships with the number 2, spread your wings. So I feel like if you're in a relationship, this week is really about, some of you may be finally deciding that you don't feel free, or you don't feel fulfilled. Maybe you feel like there's more for you out there, or there's better than this out there, or maybe you feel like you're settling. And this is a week of recognizing it's time for me to spread my wings and, follow wherever that spark might be pulling. So for some people, I do see that maybe you're deciding that it's time for me to leave because I can't grow here anymore. I can't seem to evolve or expand or ascend where I'm at. Maybe you feel like you're stuck and you're not going anywhere, the connection's not going anywhere, and this is deciding to literally spread your wings and experience life without a partner for a while. Maybe it's about taking a break. Maybe it's about just taking a vacation just to get some time alone. It's like really tuning into what you need this week and deciding that if the connection can't give you that, then you'll give it to yourself. If the connection can give you that, wonderful. But if it can't, then this is about doing the things that you need to feel free, to feel happy, to feel fulfilled, to feel reconnected to your inner light. And if that involves moving away from your person, then so be it. If that involves a complete separation from your person, then so be it. If that involves you just asserting yourself to your person and saying, I need this, this, and this, then so be it. But this is really you being independent and doing what you need to do to get your needs met and to feel happy and fulfilled once more. It could even be for a select few of you that maybe your partner's going away and you have a week to just sort of spread your wings and do whatever you want for the week, like you've got some independence back. But then, like I said, for others of you, it could be more serious, where it's more of a separation or an ending because you're feeling stuck or confined, or like you can't grow here anymore, or like there's just no more progress here. You come to the end of the road and deciding to free yourself. So take that as it resonates. But yeah, very good week of listening to your heart, listening to what that space needs and following the call. Okay, so we're going to move into your personal or spiritual growth message, which is the Lightbringer card, which we are going to be reading from the book. So it's a number 28. And your message is, Candle Quartz is a light bringer. You have a soul purpose and you are here to help heal the earth. At times you feel like your light is not shining bright, but at other times you feel so bright that you illuminate everything everywhere you go. The role of a light worker is very tough at times, and sometimes we wonder why we ever decided to come to Earth. Keep your chin up and keep pushing forward. You may feel that you aren't really doing much, but know your purpose is great. Go forth knowing that every action, whether big or small, is making a difference, and you are on the right track. Keep up the good work and continue to shine the light so others may find their way. Candle Quartz is a beautiful crystal to meditate with to bring light to a situation. You may want it to see in the darkest places of yourself, find your soul purpose, or find more clarity on your current life path. It is a very gentle quartz when used this way. If you can't find your own light, draw on the qualities of this card or crystal. You can also use Candle Quartz to call on your guides and totem animals. They are present on your soul journey and will always remind you that you are not alone. Call on Candle Quartz when you need help lighting the way, not only for yourself but for others as well. That's brilliant. And it's very reflective of how, so even if you're not single, you could probably still take from the singles message about offering that healing light to others and sharing it with others. It's very reflective of that message, but then also brings me back to even those in relationships, reconnecting to that light and following it. And the Candle Quartz can help you reconnect to that light. It can bring it back. If it's dim, it can really light it back up. But I also felt, where is it? You can use it to call on your guides and totem animals, because the next card is your spirit animal this week. So calling on this crystal and then calling on this spirit animal, which we'll dive more into in a minute, they go hand in hand. So that's interesting, but yes, great message. And I feel like this person, maybe you share a mission with this person. So I think that you guys share the same purpose, and that's why you're going to be coming together. Or it could be someone you already know and it's a friendship that's deepening, but either way. So that's the Lightbringer card. Now we're going to read the Crane from the Spirit Animal Wisdom book. Crane. 58. So the crane says, let go of limiting beliefs, be as expansive in your thoughts as your soul is. The crane brings the message of a more expansive way of thinking. Don't limit yourself to what you have been led to believe, as we are as limitless as the sky. Don't think small, set your sights high and soar gracefully like the crane, who is the spirit totem for longevity, grace, and spiritual creativity. This expansion and path to awareness brings much change. You are asked to witness the power of your emotions, to be aware of them and let them go. It is hard and it takes practice. We will shatter old paradigms and outdated patterns within us together. You are on the path to remembering your divinity. The only thing to remember is this: you are limitless. So some other crystals that can help you are the fairy stone, selenite, and silverleaf jasper. And don't forget that you don't need the stone physically with you for their powers to work. You can call upon their energy, or you can look up the stone and connect with the image, and it can still kind of have the same effect. So that's the crane's message. I'm kind of loving how all of this is tying in together. And your final card here is your notable or significant day of the week. So this week, the day for you to look out for, that is so funny. It's the same as group 1. So collectively, it seems as though Tuesday is a day to look out for. So if you're interested, like I told group 1, this is something that I decided to add in this week, because all of the days of the week link or kind of tie to a planet. So Monday is the moon, Tuesday is Mars, Wednesday is Mercury, Thursday is Jupiter, Friday is Venus, Saturday is Saturn, and Sunday is the Sun. And it can be helpful to align with those energies. So for example, the moon is like about home and family, so Mondays are good to spend, tending to the home, spending time with family. For example, Venus is the planet of like love and beauty and relationships, so it's a great time for romance, relationships, not just romantic ones, and then like beauty treatments or your appearance or self-care, things like that. But yeah, notable day or significant day this week to watch out for is Tuesday, which is tomorrow, if you're watching this at the time I post. But that's it from me, guys. I really hope you've enjoyed this weekly guidance message. If you have, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. But that's it from me for now. Sending love, light, and everything bright. Bye.